Hello and welcome. Welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and we are here to count down our top 5 personal freestyle songs of 2024 so far. Joining us from Music Lovers Radio and Freestyle Music Lovers Radio, we got DJ Racer. You're pointing in the wrong direction, Willie.
Well, it looks right to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other way. Also joining us, Willie Valentin from Artistik Recordings, and the Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez from CPR's Clubhouse Freestyle Universe. I'm your host, Jose Ortiz, and we're here to discuss the first part of 2024. Let me just go around the room and ask. DJ Racer, I'll start with you. How do you feel about 2024 and freestyle so far in the first 6 months of the year?
I'm actually excited about it. I think it's been really good. A lot better than I thought it would be. It started off shaky, but it's picked up, and I'm not disappointed. Actually, I'm surprised that we have this. You said 5, and I wrote down more than 5 because there's that many good tracks. So I'm very surprised and really, really happily surprised on how good the music's been, halfway through.
And I'm glad that you're here. A lot of people think that the way that I think is the only way that I think, right? I like to get feedback from the people that I trust and the people that I respect. So I want to thank you for coming into the Lion's Den and dealing with me for this podcast and this show. We also have the Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez. Dutch, how do you feel about 2024 so far when it comes to freestyle?
I agree. This was probably one of the hardest countdowns I've had to do that we've done, getting together our top 5. I wrote more because I was constantly, I got to get them in my top 5. And, there was a lot of really good stuff that came out this year and a lot of it right in the beginning. So it's kind of like lasted us and, been in our ear for months. So it's a lot of good stuff out there and it ain't over. I'm excited.
Yeah. Willie Valentin, thank you so much for joining us. Artistik Recordings, live from the studio. You've been producing a lot of remixes for 2024, which have pretty much topped my top 5 of 2024 so far. But how do you feel about 2024 and freestyle as it comes to the releases?
No, I agree. There's a lot of good stuff, right? This year, I think we're getting stuff that I hear something, I'm like, oh wow, what's that? I'll reach out to you, and I'm like, and you'll tell me who the song. I'm like, wow, this is a good song. This is a good song. So I'm pretty happy with the material that's coming out this year. Better quality all around, not just music, but vocally. The people are learning. And it's good because we need more of that. We need more and better engineers, better producers, and they're coming out and they're doing some really good stuff.
Yeah, and again, you're doing a lot of remixes. You are part of that movement. You are part of putting the quality freestyle out. So my compliments to you and the people who are hiring you to do these remixes. One of the things that I heard you remix was the return of Voice and Fashion. Who would have ever thought that Willie Valentin will be remixing a Voice and Fashion song in 2024? I was pretty excited about that. I also enjoyed the song Chained. It didn't make my top 5, but it's definitely something that is worth listening to. Does anybody have an honorable mention before we get started with our top 5?
Yeah. I'll start. I do have one. There's an artist by the name of Christina Marie. She made a track called The Only. I don't know if you've heard the track. I think it's very well produced and the vocals are good. I'm very shocked on how good that track is. As a matter of fact, when I thought it was top 10, I put her at 10B. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no 10B on CPR's Clubhouse. That's another top 10 countdown. But listen, what I will say is that the song came in at that mark where we're gonna address that song at the other part of the year. I was really concentrating on, November, December, January, February, around there, because our countdown is from November to November, and we do our countdown that way. So for me, an honorable mention is a song that was never released and that was Diddle D's "When You Said," the Beautiful Feather freestyle remix. They did release the original version, which was like a slow down, poppy-ish song, but the remix by Jay Adams, the Beautiful Feather freestyle remix, I thought it was excellent. But unfortunately, Diddle D is not active, and we should put him on the back of a milk carton because I can't find him. And unfortunately, the song was never released on the distribution sites. What did you have a honorable mention?
It's more of a, again, I'm like Ray, so I thought it was a top 10 originally. So I would say my number 6. And it was, tough because the top 5 for me, at least, I felt were really all like hard to really say who gauge who's 4, 5, 3. And it was Eric Christian, Broken Till You. I really like that song. It didn't make my top 5, but it's definitely like teetering. It could have, depending on what day, it could have been there. But yeah, great song.
Nice.
Duchess, did you have a honorable mention?
Well, I too went with my number 6 when I found out. So it would be April, who just barely missed my top 5 with Heart in Pieces. The comeback from her, I just so excited, and the remixes are insane. So really love that song.
The companion to this video is the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts on CPR's Clubhouse. Freestyle Universe is the top 10 freestyle songs of 2024 so far, and we're counting that down, and you will find out who's number 1 on that countdown. Just subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts or go to cprsmusic.com to get links to the podcast. It's available on Amazon Podcasts and all your podcast distribution sites. But let's get started. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to kick off the countdown with my number 5. I think that this specific song has my favorite break of 2024. That break beat, the way they break it down. And it's a Willie Valentin remix of Niaja, When Will Our Hearts Be Together. The Kraftwerk's Boom Chak, I'm not sure if you did this purposely, but when I heard that break, I can hear that break all day. It's amazing. The remix was done to perfection. So that's my number 5. I also want to commend the original producers of the song. They did an interpolation of a George Lamont record for the original mix, which is pretty cool. And the remixes. So it's a great compliment to have these remixes and mixes on 418 Freestyle. So my number 5 is Niaja, When Will Our Hearts Be Together. DJ Racer, I'm going to start with you. You are the guest, so come on down.
My number 5 song is Aina, Walked Out on Me. I really, really like that track. And for an artist that's been gone out of the scene for 8 years to come back with a track like that. And again, the production was amazing. Talk about breaks. It has good edits. It's got about 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 mixes altogether. It's a great track. I love the vocals on it. I think she's magnificent. I know she came out later. I think she came out in May. I know it's later in the year, but I had to put in my top 5. I mean, being gone 8 years and then coming back with a banger, that's not easy to do.
It was a honor to always have her here at the Puerto Rican festivals every year. But having her come back with a song like this, she sounded very 80s. Edward Ramos did a great job with the original version as well. And it caught a lot of ears, a lot of compliments, so many compliments from different producers and artists. So it was a surprising track to come back in 2024 because I didn't think it would be a good track, right? And then I listened to it and I'm like, man, this is really good. I got to play this. And I just had to buy the entire thing and start playing it immediately. So my hats to Aina for great work. Mr. Willie Valentin, who do you have for number 5?
My number 5, these guys had my favorite song of 2023. This song is, it's really good. I was happy they came out with another song, and it goes to 3 to the max, Mind, Body, and Soul.
Duchess, Cheryl Rodriguez, who do you have for number 5?
George Anthony, Remember.
Nice choice. I love the version with him and Suave, What a
Yep.
great rendition.
Yeah.
Strawberry sounds amazing. They both sound really good together. I think out of all the collaborations, because George has a lot of collaborations, their voices were really good. They went really good together. They complemented each other.
We're going to go with number 4. We're going to start with Willie Valentin. Who do you have with number 4 for your top 5 favorite songs of 2024 so far?
Yeah, this song here, just when I first heard it, the hook just stood in my head, but it just wouldn't go away. And I got a chance to remix it, which is good also. But I liked it once I heard it. This Naija, When Will Our Hearts Be Together?
You can't go wrong. And what a great job. I ask you, did you do the break on purpose the way that you did? Or,
Of course.
I understand.
Drop the sample in there. Oops. Oh, that sounds good.
Well, before when you were part of other panels with us, you would say that you would just, make something and grab things out of nowhere and just create a break out of it. So I just didn't know if you found a sample somewhere and you just put it in there.
Yeah, no, not lately. I've been inspired a little differently. Like I hear something, I'm like, oh, let me find that sample. Oh, let me put this in there. And now it's starting to come together like more like a formula. So
yeah, it's not like a conversation or that you're referring to the song on all the songs that you're remixing right now. So I really enjoy that. DJ Racer, what do you have for number 4?
This one's easy for me. Number 4. How can you not? Deneen. Come on. Change on Me. It's an amazing song with amazing vocals. 14 records. Gino, they do their thing. I mean, anytime that she comes out with a track, it's going to be good. And she never, ever fails to make us happy. So that's my number 4. Deneen, Change on Me.
A song that she revisited 28 years later. That was a filler song on a compilation from Metropolitan Tasmania Records. I think it was volume number 11 or 14. And it was just like a passerby. I mean, you love her voice, but the production at the time wasn't there. And for them to come back and revisit that in 2024, it just makes it so much better.
Yep.
Wait for the remix next week. Anyway, shameless plug.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it. Duchess Rodriguez, who do you have for number 4?
Naija, When Will Our Hearts Be Together?
Great. So that song has been making our top 5's personal list. And again, it's all the songs that I have been listening to over and over and over again. Same thing with DJ Racer. These are songs that you're spinning over and over again, right? You find yourself putting them in the mix, right? And Duchess, you find yourself trying to play them on the radio. You
All
find
the time.
yourself trying to play them on your car. Willie Valentin, the studio always has that on.
Yeah, always.
Amazing. We're gonna go with my number 4, and my number 4 is Eric Christian, Broken Till You. It's when Eric Christian put the song out, he came to premiere it on my radio show. I listened to it. I thought it was good, but then I started listening to the words, and I'm a words guy, and the words and the production by Jay Adams is amazing. The extended version with the edits is amazing. Eric sounds great in it, and it's inspiring because he's talking about the person that he's currently with now. So I like the fact that song is dedicated to her, and it had to make my top 4 because it's a song that I listen to a lot, and the lyrics I love.
Awesome.
All right, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're going to number 3, Duchess Rodriguez. Who do you have for number 3 on your top 5 of 2024 so far?
Okay, you want to talk about a song that I played over and over. I have quite a system in my car, and there is no song that hits like Drunk and I Miss You, Gennaro and Vera, just absolutely insane start to finish. I still play it, still, all the time.
Great song.
Yeah, I don't like when you call me when you're drunk and you're driving and you do the song. But hey man, pull over and talk to me all you want. But yeah, man, you have 4 or 5 maltas in a row, and she starts talking and talking. But for me, that was also my number 3. Not only do I play the freestyle version, but I go and I listen to the original version, which is a country song, and I enjoy them both equally. And the fact that this was spun into a freestyle record, and the fact that Gennaro was unique enough to remove some of the references in the original and make it his own, that to me was really amazing. What a great debut for Vera.
I agree.
I love Drunk and I Miss You. Gennaro picks these obscure records to remake, and you're like, what is he doing? But he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's very bright in that. So Drunk and I Miss You, absolutely on my top 5 of 2024. Still listening to it in my car every day going to work.
Yep.
Willie Valentin, your turn, sir. Number 3.
Number 3, I heard all the snippets for a very long time, and when I heard the final version, I thought it was excellent. And it's the new song by George Anthony. And of course, I'm reading a text, so I can't remember the name of the damn song, so I apologize.
The song is called If It Ain't Love.
Yeah, If It Ain't Love. Great record. I'm sorry about that, George. It sucks because everyone's sending me vocals to do a remix. I'm like, stop texting me. Great song. He sounds really good on it. Especially like the after hook. Like he goes into this higher range, and that's where the song just takes me. I'm like, wow, it's different because you usually get hooked to the hook or the verses or the lyrics like you do. But when I heard the after chorus, I'm like, oh man, this made it for me. So great job to George.
Yeah, it's a great song. It didn't make my top 5. I'm sure it'll make my top 10 of 2024 when we revisit this at the end of the year. But I'm also proud of the fact that we were able to debut it first on our radio show. Even though my cousin went to DJ Racer first, we won't talk about that. That's a sore spot. But we got George Anthony to come and debut his song on the same night that my cousin went to DJ Racer to debut his. And so to have Londinium, Kenny Diaz, come to the radio station with George Anthony and debut the song is a great honor for me. And it's a great song. And it's different. It's not a typical George Anthony because George Anthony gets you in the beginning, right? And this one is a slow burn to the end where he gets you. And so I like that part about the song. So kudos to them. What about you, DJ Racer? What do you have for number 3?
So first, let me say that when I do my shows on Friday, I try not to play the same songs back-to-back weeks because I don't like to get repetitive. I like to keep it different. And when I first heard this song, I fell in love with it the second that I heard the song. And then freaking Willie Valentin comes out with a remix, and I found myself playing it 4 weeks in a row in my mix because it's that good, and that's Heart in Pieces. That is that remix you did, Willie.
Thank you.
It's crazy. It is extremely crazy.
I love that record. I love that record. As a matter of fact, we're going to move into our top 2 favorite songs of 2024 so far, and that is my number 2. My number 2 is April, Heart in Pieces. Again, I got to interview her. She came back in 2024. What an honor it was to have her on my show. But to debut that record, the original version, I love because of the fact that you hear every vocal, you hear the backgrounds, you hear the passion, you hear the plight and the entire song. I love the lyrics. And then Willie Valentin comes and he just, makes this different version of the song just as good or better than the original. And then you can't help but to keep playing it. And it's one of these things where it gives it more life. It gives it more life. And that's what you want out of a record. You want to release it and then waste some time and then release the remixes. And what a great record that is, and what a great comeback. To me, April is the comeback of 2024 so far. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. You saw my post. I put a post that says I can't get enough of this song, and I play it over and over, and I don't get tired of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and what I stated before was that this is a great compliment to her records on Metropolitan. So if her album was released again and you put this record on there, it's like it belonged all along in that record, in that album. So my compliments to April. I will continue playing this song. My number 2 song for 2024 so far. Duchess, who do you have for number 2?
Deneen, When You Talk.
Is this the remix with George Lamont?
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny, right? She was the number 1 song for 2023, hands down. And then she's like, what can I do to continue giving life to the song? Oh, well, George Lamont was a jump on it. Okay, sir, pull my chain, you know what I mean? And it just became an instant classic. I love when legends seek out newer artists or artists that make a return so they can collaborate with them. That is what we need more in our community. And so I love that. What do you think, Willie?
No, I was just gonna say, I know but there was supposed to be another remix of that song coming out that was supposed to be released after the George Lamond one with Cynthia Figueroa. We just thought it was just too much of it. We recorded it and it sounded great, but we just made the decision like, you know what? I think this, let the song just let it go. But hey, we may put it available as a free download or give it to the DJ someday because it came out really good.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
The excitement on DJ Racer. But yeah,
Willie knows how much I love Cynthia. So yeah, give it to me, please.
Yeah. So what I will say, and I'll give a hint here, we did the top 10 songs of 2024 so far, and the Deneen, which was number 1 for 2023, it's on the top 10 of 2024 so far because the song expanded for another 6 months. It's almost a year now for that record. And that's exactly what this community needs when it comes to longevity. And she's performing it. She's performing with George Lamond on different tours. And I couldn't be happier for her. Once again, we're counting our top 5 favorite songs, our personal list, the top 10, the ones that have been tabulated by the Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez. Thank you for doing the hard work. Will be counted on the podcast. And we look forward to having you listen to the top 10 to find out who's number 1. DJ Racer, you're up next.
All right, so at number 2, and I'm glad that George Anthony's gonna like me more than he likes Willie because I have George Anthony at If It Ain't Love at number 2, and I gotta say again, I repeat myself from yesterday. When I give Artist of the Month, I try not. I particularly don't like when an artist comes out with two or three songs in 1 year. I kind of like one a year, to let and he did. He came out with Remember early in the year, and then he came out with the new one. And it was so good that I said, you know what? He deserves his flowers. If the song is good, it's good. And he's the first artist in 8 years to win Artist of the Month twice in 1 year. And he deserves it for that song. That song is phenomenal. It's amazing.
I can't wait for Bullet to the Heart, which is another song.
I'm looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, it's so they started off, Londinium started off with a slow burn. If you think this song is hot, wait till you hear the next one and the next one and the next one. It's amazing. What do you got, Teen? Who do you have for number 2 on your list?
I left it blank. No, I'm just kidding. No, my number 2 song is when I don't want to say the song yet, but when I first heard it, I was a big fan back in the 80s. I heard it. I liked it right away. My wife came downstairs. That's when I know it's a good record because, I have the studio in the house. My wife doesn't come down because it's very loud. But when she likes a record, like when she first heard All Hooked Up by Jenny Renee, she's like, who's that? When she heard all the Deneen songs, she ran down, who's that? And when she heard the original, Heart in Pieces by April, she was like, what's that? Oh my God. Even my daughter. And I said, oh man, I hope I get the opportunity to remix it. And a week later, I got the call. And I'm like, I got to do this song justice. I'm not saying that I picked the number 2 song, my remix, but the song period is number 2 on my list. Great job to April, and it was an honor to work with her.
Listen, I can't agree with you more. I love your remix. I find myself listening to both, and I back to back. The original version, I just like to listen to the vocals and how she blends her voice. I said that before. Then I listen to your remix and I hear for the beats and the stuff that you put in it. These little intricate details that you put into the record now, which creates a story, and I really do appreciate your work, and you've been doing some excellent work. When does he get the award, DJ Racer?
I took my daughter's and I carved my name on it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, great. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to unveil our favorite song of 2024 so far, one that we've been playing over and over and over and over again. So what do you have, Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez, for your number 1?
Juliana Lee, Lily Rose, How You Make Me Feel. Period.
I did not make any friends when I posted After listening to two young girls make this track, you freestyle artists better get in the studio and get your shit together. I did not make any friends when I said that, and but I meant it. And till now, they are untouchable for the song of the year. We got 6 months left, but as of right now, they are untouchable. How You Make Me Feel, Juliana Lee, and of course Lily Rose, number
Yeah.
one.
Willie, I think I know your number one, right? What's your number one, Willie?
Yeah. So let me just say this, and it's awkward to say it, because I produced it, co-wrote it with these young ladies, but it's not number one because of that for me. It's number one. What we were talking about, Lily Rose and Juliana Lee, or Juliana Lee, Lily Rose. So, we got to mix it around. But this song just took the music, the genre, to a different level. And let me explain. Of course, I'm the only one who could able to see this stuff, but the demographics, we reached a total different demographic. When I look at releases that have come out over the past few years, I see the 45 and over, 55, 60 years old. When you see 35, 40% of people who were listening to it, streaming it, downloading it, was 17 to 25,
Wow.
and over 2 million views on TikTok, like, they just changed the game, and that's what made it, to me, number one. Not because, again, my involvement, or because one of the girls is my daughter. Is they took the music to a different level, and I'm so proud of them. And they did a great job, hands down. And they're humble, they're hungry. I was in the car with them the other day. Juliana's like, she was supposed to come out with her own single first. She goes, I want to do another one with Lily before I do one by myself. So
Aw.
we got another Juliana Lee, Lily Rose coming out, and so proud of them for so many different reasons. But yeah, that's my number one so far this year.
Can I
So
chime in real quick? Can I say something real quick?
absolutely, of course. I
Okay,
mean,
so
my number one is the same. So go ahead.
I just want to say that when I interview a lot of the artists, when it comes to Shannon, whether it's Coral, whether it's Stevie B, no matter who it was, I always say, for this genre to continue to keep giving, we need the youth to buy into what we're doing. You
Right.
know, everyone's like Willie said, everyone's 45, 50, 55, 60, right? That's not going to last. That's going to stop eventually. We need to get the youth to
Yeah.
buy into what we're doing, and that was tremendous. That was a tremendous start. We have Cristal, that's also a
Mhm.
young artist that's starting to do freestyle music, and I think that producers need to really try to get more of the young artists to come into the studio and try doing freestyle tracks. It's not going to hurt them any by trying them, but we need the youth to buy into it.
So of course, my number one is Lily Rose and Juliana Lee. When I first heard the record, the first thing that I wrote on my social media page was, "The future of freestyle is now." And then it's like, that's what they are to me. That's what I'm going to call them. That's the moniker I'm going to use for them. And from that point on, they are the future of freestyle, and no one can tell me any different. The fact that these young ladies, when they came to debut the record at my radio show, they were the best in studio guest I've had. Lily Rose was throwing setups for me for jokes. You know what I mean? Juliana Lee was there adding on to it. Before the interview, some people were under the weather. Some people, were tired because they work. They go and do school. They do a lot of music stuff, right? And when the mic was on, they perked up and they were on fire. And from that point on, and I've interviewed them twice because I did it again for the CPR Clubhouse live YouTube channel. They can communicate. They have that gift of gab. They could create their own podcast. They can create their own video show and host it, and it will be more entertaining than 100%, maybe 80% of what I see on TikTok for freestyle. They have that power to reach the youth and really bring this music forward. They are absolutely the future of freestyle. So when I had them here for the first time on my show, they made a great impression. They're great when it comes to interviewing them. They're students of the game. When I talk about Juliana Lee, who's brand new to this genre of music, by the time the third week, fourth week of their song being released, she was really knowledgeable on what freestyle is, and she was, quoting records that she liked, and she had a Spotify list with a bunch of freestyle records, and these are this is information that I gather, from many sources. Willie Valentin being, of course, the main one, but I want to say these things because that's what impresses me. It's so hard to talk to an artist who is older, right? It's like pulling teeth. But these young ladies, they produce, they sing, they write. They're the entire package for this community, and I never want to scare them away. You know what I mean? They're open to come to my radio show anytime they want. They can take over for all 4 hours, all 6 hours, because I believe in them that much.
Yeah, I
And
gotta say they're very mature because they read all the comments. They don't have music pages for TikTok. They don't. They have personal pages, and there's some comments always that are not as nice as you would want them to be, especially when they're young girls. And instead of going, oh, I don't care, but I'm gonna tell that person. No. They're like, you know what? We're gonna just show and prove. Their first show was their first show. They didn't have a dance routine. One was sick before. They couldn't even rehearse. And the chatter was, oh, they need to come up. They need to learn how to dance. Meanwhile, they're dance majors and vocal majors in school. And they were like, okay, we're going to show and prove. And I love that about them. They're not going in there and going, you don't know what you're talking about, and even though they feel like, oh my God, why are they saying that about us?
Like the 45 and 50-year-olds that can't get one comment negative. If they get that negative comment, they're on TikTok for 2 hours in a drunken stupor, talking about freestyle and all the haters, where these ladies just improve with every show.
Yeah.
And let me just say also, the adults are trolls, right? They like to troll these young ladies. You never see them sweat. They're just cool, calm, collected, and they continue on. So I know that we spent the majority of the time talking about Lily Rose and Juliana Lee because it's well deserved. Over 1 million impressions. All these different people, 2 million now, right? All these people that are loving them. There are legends behind the scenes that want these young girls in the community and they want to help them, right? I won't mention any names because it's not my place, but they're doing so well so far. And we want to make sure that we nurture them and do not scare them away, as we have done with many younger artists that have tried to do this music, at least in the last 5-6 years. So congratulations to Lily Rose and Juliana Lee. We have a consensus here. You are currently the #1 song for 2024 so far. And it looks like you'll be the one for 2024 for the entire year. I hope that we get some remixes soon. And I hope that they continue just recording new music. I've heard some Juliana Lee stuff. Student of the game is all I can say. And I hope that they continue working together as a team. And I love the fact that they're best friends. And by the way, they have lasted more than any freestyle friendship on social media.
Yeah. They're going to Six Flags tomorrow. Let's see, they don't lose their voices.
Willie Valentin, any final thoughts?
No, so imagine, we're excited about the stuff that's already come out in the first 6 months. There's so much more coming out. Not just, I can speak for myself. I know what I'm working on, but there's so much other stuff. Like I got a few calls today for some, for some more work, and they're like, I need you to produce this for me. I'm like, wow. But I know what I'm working on, but I can imagine what else is coming out, because this has been for me in the 2020s, this has probably been the best year for freestyle as far as the quality of the music that's coming out, the artists that are coming back. I can say I'm doing the new Brenda K. Starr, the new expose is dropping in a few weeks. I'm doing a song for Alex Latin Nation, new Juliana Lee, Lily Rose, Cynthia Figueroa. I just did a remix for Jenny Renee. There's a lot of stuff, and this is just me talking about what I'm working on. Imagine, I know Londinium's coming with the heat, and Jay Adams always puts out so much great music, and he's always busy working. it's this year is going to be iconic for the music.
This is the year for Nick Cologne to come back. Santana
Oh,
Twins
I was gonna say that.
featuring Nick Cologne. I can't believe it. And Nick Cologne is a student of the game because he used to be an apprentice at Willie Valentin in Artistic Recordings back in the day.
Yep.
So I love talking to Nick. I've always invited him to do these shows with us, and hopefully he'll do them in the future because he is a student of the game, and that's one person that I speak to about new freestyle. Duchess, any final thoughts?
You know, you sort of took the words from my mouth. I needed to mention Nick. I am so excited for what he's going to put out. July 5th, I think, is the pre-order. So it's right around the corner, and I've been waiting. We've all been waiting for this one a hot minute. So
You got a new song? All right. I can't
I'm
wait.
excited.
Yeah, it's called Foolish Need.
Can't wait.
I can't wait for my ideas to come to fruition. I give him a couple of ideas. So hopefully it'll come true for the remixes. But I can't wait for the original versions with the Santana Twins. I can't wait to hear what they have in store. I know that they're in the lab and they want to make things intricately perfect. And I respect them for that. And I hope that they come on the show with Nick to promote the new song "Foolish Need." So that about wraps it up for us on our personal top 5 songs of 2024 so far. Don't forget to go to the CPRsmusic.com website to check out the podcast. The links are all there. We corrected them. I know some of you that use Google Podcasts are not aware that Google Podcast is no more. But if you go to CPRsmusic.com and get the link, you'll go to Amazon Music, you go to YouTube Music, you go to different apps that carry the CPR's Clubhouse Freestyle Universe podcast. DJ Racer, could you let us know about your iRadio station and the stations that you manage?
Yeah, so I do Music Lovers Radio, which I don't have any freestyle music on Music Lovers Radio. I kind of put that aside. I play everything else on Music Lovers Radio, like the new Cynthia and Dom G song. You can find it on Music Lovers Radio, but it won't be on Freestyle Lovers Radio because it's not a freestyle song. It's more of an R&B. And then we have Freestyle Lovers Radio, which I put, I'm not going to say every single freestyle song that comes out, but I do at least 90% of the freestyle tracks that come out. I believe that the listeners should have a listen. If they like the track, they're going to purchase the track. If they don't like the track, they're not going to purchase the track. But as a station owner, I feel that I'm obligated to provide them the music to listen to. So that's what I do. So 90% of the freestyle songs go in there. I'm pretty good at making sure that I load them as I get them or as I get permission to load them. Because, like, for example, I have the new AB Cruise that I exclusively premiered last week, but I can't put it in the station yet because it hasn't been, the pre-sale, I think, is this coming Friday. So as soon as they give me permission to put it on the station, I'll put it on the station. It's a great track. But yeah, that's what we do. And we have DJ 7 days a week, and we don't stream on any other platform other than ours.